Blue Lock Season 2 finished time ago, and I wanted to say this real quick. I am only an anime watcher so far. I will be reading the manga soon. But from what I've seen, I will definitely still agree with this title. In my eyes, I feel like Itoshi Rin is a bit of a loser. And the reason why I say this is because I don't like his ego. And for someone that has never seen Blue Lock, you probably won't really get what I'm saying. But let's start with the idea of the fact that Blue Lock isn't even really a series about football. It's a series about mentality. The mentality it takes to win, the mentality it takes to succeed, the mentality it takes to evolve and drive yourself, and the mentality, most of all, to win on your own terms. That is what Blue Lock is really about. And it's showing us the different mentalities of different characters, what it means for them to win, how they want to win, their evolution, and how that translates into their skill in football. I want to go over a few characters, right? Then I'm going to go talk about Rin, from what I've seen in this current anime series, and then why I don't like him in particular. I want to start off with someone like Shido. Shido, I feel like, is the prime example, at least from the anime series, of what a real ego looks like. Let's start with the fact that Shido is insanely talented and physically is extremely dexterous. So he can pull up flips, do like crazy roundhouse kicks and whatever the fuck he wants with his body when he feels like it. He wants to leave a legacy behind with his goals. The same way that you know, like for example, Steph Curry for his 3-point shots, Shido wants to be known for his crazy goals. And the only way he can really do that is if he pushes himself to do crazier and crazier goals. And in the Blue Lock versus U20 match in Season 2, we see exactly that. Like for example, to the average person, a lot of the goals and passes that he gets would seem impossible. But to go beyond, Shido can't think that things are impossible. He can't think that he can't do this. All he has to do is tee up and just do it. He has to just push himself to go beyond. And you can see that especially in the penalty shot where he does the dragon drive, and in his overhead ridiculous bicycle kick shot, his big bang drive. When I see stuff like this in Blue Lock, this is the type of ego I like seeing. And it kind of made me like reconsider how I view ego, because although ego is a bad trait to have in general, right? Someone that's egotistical, is only self-serving, only thinks about themselves, doesn't care about anyone else. Ego in Blue Lock is important because it means that ego of thinking that you're better and living up to that is gonna push you to actually be better in the series. Shido being the literal perfect example of that, in my opinion. A majority of characters also think this way, but Shido to me is especially important because he is especially talented out of the entire Blue Lock crew. Like, he doesn't focus on honing in his one talent. He is like naturally very good at everything. Like when it comes to dribbling, when it comes to shooting, when it comes to spatial awareness, Shido's got it. He doesn't have one specific talent. He's just a general solid player. Unlike Isagi, whose talent is spatial awareness and his direct shot, or Kunigami, whose talent is like his midline shot, or Bachira, whose talent is his dribbling and passing, or Nagi, who is extremely dexterous. The only issue is that Shido has problems linking up with people because he's too fucking crazy. So when he found a person that could, being Itoshi Sai, who could actually match up with him and give him the shots that he needs to push himself, that's when Shido unlocked his true potential. Now I want to talk about Rin. And I'm going to be very blunt. None of these characters that I've just mentioned, no one in Blue Lock is a bad written character. Like, no one. I don't believe that at all. Like, every single major character to me is a well-written character. But the thing is, you can still be a well-written character and a loser, which I think is what Rin is. Especially when we get to see his backstory, right? We get to see how a big portion of him playing is because of how he admires his older brother. And that's cool. But when I'm seeing this flashback, and then when I'm seeing how Sai destroyed Rin in that 1v1 match, what Rin said after that, I don't know, like I couldn't look at him the same way, especially considering how fucking edgy he was for the majority of the series. I can't see him as the same guy. The thing that he says, and I'm gonna paraphrase it, he says something like, "Don't leave. Without you, I don't have a reason to play football." When I heard that, I thought the same thing as Sai, because as an older sibling myself, it's like, What do you mean you're not gonna play if I'm not playing? That is such an embarrassing thing to hear. Like, could you imagine that if LeBron James were to quit, Bronny would stop playing? Because what? He doesn't have the drive to play no more because LeBron ain't playing? If you don't get back on the fucking court and start tossing balls, pause. And I understand that, like, Rin doesn't think this way anymore, and now he plays football to get one over his brother and kind of like take his vengeance. But when you look at it, it's like, if his brother wasn't playing, would Rin still be playing football? That's what I'm saying. It's like, if the whole reason he's playing is because his brother's playing, that's a weak ego to me, right? And I get that a lot of his ego is fueled by the idea of him wanting to destroy the people around him, right? He has the like destroyer eyes or like the destroyer mentality. Like, I'm gonna crush everything in my path. But no matter how strong that destroyer mentality is, it could even beat Shido for all I care. I still feel like that mentality is such a loser way to go at it. Sure, his ego gets pushed, but it's like, that mentality to me is such a loser way of thinking. He is a talented player, right? He has a strong reason to play, and I pressure him to do very well. But it's like, when is he gonna play for himself? When is he gonna play because he's good and he wants to be the best, not because he has to beat someone else who's better? That to me is just a lame mentality. And maybe that might change, because at the end of season 2, Rin did change from having his rival being Sai to having his rival now be Isagi, because he quote unquote stole the goal from him. But it's like, that's still him leeching from one person to the next. I don't even think Isagi harbors that same hatred that Rin does. It's very heavily one-sided. I'm not saying Isagi doesn't want to beat Rin. Isagi wants to be the best, of course. But Isagi doesn't hate Rin the same way Rin hates Isagi. Like, it's one-sided hatred. And I'm looking at it like, yo, this nigga is a loser. He's a loser, bro. Ultimately, that's honestly how I feel about Rin. And maybe I might be wrong. Maybe it changes in the manga. Maybe I'm not really getting the perception. Maybe I'm not really understanding the true depth behind Rin, or the true depth behind all of the characters' ego. But from what I've been seeing throughout season 1 and season 2, that's the idea I'm getting from it. Any Rin fanboys that disagree with me, man, leave a comment, leave a paragraph. I might read it. I'm currently online. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like. If you didn't enjoy the video, dislike it. Who cares? Leave a comment if you disagree or want to argue. Sub up, and with that, I'm out.
Trying to